In a city known for two seasons, winter and construction, Chicago might not appear to be the most hospitable place to bike, but in reality, with a natural asset like Lake Michigan, a flat topography, and a strong proletarian sensibility, the city has maintained a strong relationship to that most humble mode of transportation, the bike. Against this historical backdrop lies another more recent and significant factor, the desire on the part of the city's mayor, Richard Daley, to make Chicago the greenest city in the nation. Towards that end, his administration has embarked on a plan to encourage and enable greater bike usage, especially within the inner city. In order to achieve such a lofty goal, the city has developed a massive plan, which is called Bike 2015 Plan, to encourage and empower the average citizen to use bicycles as an integral part of their daily transportation. The large goals include increasing bus use so that 5% of all trips less than 5 miles are made by bicycles, and to reduce the number of bicycle injuries by 50% from current levels. The larger plan is broken down into 8 chapters, and they are as follows. I won't go into them in much detail, but working on a bikeway network, bicycle-friendly streets, bike parking, transit, education, marketing and health promotion, law enforcement and crash analysis, and finally, bicycle messengers, a vital part of how we get commerce done within a large urban center. Such an ambitious and long-range plan provided an excellent opportunity for us at Columbia College, as an institution centered in the downtown area, to join in as a partner. As educators, we're always searching for new ways to bring sustainability into the classroom. The topic is hard to practice when most design projects result in models, prototypes, and presentations, but rarely in anything that's real or market ready. Few, if any, students find a life of their own in the marketplace, so it made better sense to look at existing infrastructures and develop projects around them, thus expanding an activity or developing a service in conjunction with that infrastructure. This would provide students an opportunity to see that problems can be more insidious and that solutions often involve examining lifestyle choices. Bike culture seemed like the ideal area to research for new opportunities. Nevertheless, we had to find a way to make such a project work within the context of an industrial design education. There needed to be specific deliverables, a real research component, testing of concepts, and presentations. That was the genesis of what has now become a multi-stage project around bike culture and sustainable futures that happens once a year. The initial team of faculty included a former SRAM designer, Kent Solberg, as well as Carl Boyd, a sustainable designer and advocate of green design. It was agreed that the Chicago Bike 2015 plan would serve as our template and that we'd seek out a city representative as the actual client. Phone calls and emails were sent out to rally the client around the idea while adding other constituents within the city's rich bike advocacy network to get involved. We are fortunate that Ben Gomberg, the bike czar and program coordinator at the city's 2015 plan, jumped on board early, thus providing the much needed context and pressure for our students to realize that this was indeed a real project with actual clients who had real demands. Another critical partner in the initial launch of the project was Alex Wilson of Westtown Bikes. Alex combined years of experience in advocating for greater bike usage, along with practical knowledge on everything from normal bike repairs to serious retrofitting of carts to extend the bicycle's capabilities. It was a great partnership overall, instilling that much needed enthusiasm to get things off the ground. After the launch of the project, few students seem to recall that they were not designing cool new bikes, but were instead looking for unique and crucial opportunities to increase the value and centrality of the bike as a more than entertaining diversion or a cheap and occasional mode of transportation. The team of students, 16 in all for the first semester, were broken into 4 groups of 4 and tasked with the challenge of establishing key areas of development for the humble two-wheeler. The students quickly went about establishing a wiki for greater communication across the various subgroups in order to share the vital research each of them was recovering. The first 5 to 6 weeks involved going out into the world and observing firsthand what the issues were by studying the culture like an anthropologist might. This was also a clear invitation for the students themselves to pull out their own bikes and change their way of commuting, thus experiencing the issues firsthand and up close. The teams quickly established key areas of concern that included better bike locks for the existing city infrastructure and possible new accessories to increase safety when riding. The concept for a mobile bike repair station became a focus, as did better integration with existing modes of public transportation. The last project chose to focus on mobile bike paramedic bags. Each sector had unique challenges that required a thorough understanding of the users and multiple contexts for use. No one could develop their project along unrealistic lines, which meant that solutions needed to be realistic and cost-effective, or they were never going to see the light of day. Each group proceeded with physical mock-ups where possible for field testing while running through the normal procedures of visualizing possible solutions through physical appearance models, computer simulations, renderings, and animations or fly-throughs of possible solutions. The final presentation took place in front of city officials along with bike advocates and received a unanimous nod of approval. The students left City Hall convinced that change can indeed occur on a small and localized level. The next time the project was run, it was determined early on that the process needed to be distinctly different from the previous experiment. Through conversation and discussion of the original idea, designing around new bike opportunities was pushed to a new level of refinement and evolution to include outside businesses that might benefit from the incorporation of a bicycle into their business model. Faculty member Carl Boyd led the group of students and worked diligently to find appropriately sized and positioned partners who would take the project seriously. The clients who were selected include a landscaping company, a home cleaning service, a gourmet shop, and Time Out Chicago, the weekly news and entertainment magazine. The challenges this time were straightforward. Develop workable solutions to encourage the clients to seriously embrace bikes as an alternative mobility choice. This involved not only understanding the client's needs, but also figuring out how low-cost methods to make small batch production feasible if the project were to advance farther. In every instance, except Time Out Chicago, the companies were local with limited resources and no need to invest in a large rollout should the solutions fit their immediate needs. The students developed multiple concepts in model form first to get as many ideas out as possible and to evaluate the best potential directions. Full-scale prototypes were built and tested to confirm that they met the sometimes stringent requirements of the client, for example, weight issues for a landscaping company. Hauling garden equipment on a single bike required very accurate balancing of the carts so that it would not be too strenuous. The range of solutions included very lightweight panniers for the house cleaners that took advantage of the bike geometry while maximizing space for the necessary cleaning products, along with a cart that could be attached to a bike for Time Out Chicago to transport their magazines,